world. Today I'm going to talk about something that is uncomfortable for myself, my son, and I'm sure it's an issue that is on the forefront of many families today, currently. I'm talking about this form here. It's an Advanced Healthcare Directive, or more commonly known as a DNR, a Do Not Resuscitate, a legal form that is executed when you find yourself incapacitated and unable to make proper decisions about the quality of your life going forward, whether because of an accident, surgery, an operation that you find yourself dead or dying, and your medical wishes are to not be resuscitated, to just let your body die and to move on. Later on this week I'm going to have a difficult and detailed conversation with my son about this, because he has to be the medical decision maker for me. We have to talk about the specifics of what my wishes are. I don't want to be the ward of a state, or I'm counting on 3 or 4 people to facilitate my ongoing existence every day, feeding me and bathing me and being in a bed or wheelchair bound, unable to walk or move. My quality of life has already diminished in the last 5 or 6 months. I've been dealing with 2 persistent health issues. At one point I was scheduled for emergency surgery twice. That, had I gone through with it, would have fundamentally changed the quality of life for me forever. And I did not have this DNR in place. I would have had no choice. I would have just had to live with the results of those particular medical procedures. So later on this week I'm going to meet with my son. I'm going to ask him if we can film our conversation together as we discuss the questions that are asked, the decisions that I'm going to make, that he wants to make about my medical future going forward. For the last several months I've been watching a video on YouTube by the artist James Blunt called Monsters. It deals with this exact issue. Not so much the DNR form, but the fact that his father was dying, and he wrote a beautiful, deeply moving and emotional love song to his father that even chokes me up now as I think about it. About telling his father to let go. Don't worry, it's my turn to chase the monsters away. We as parents, if you have kids, those early years when your kids were afraid of the dark and the thing in the closet or under the bed, the monsters, and we were there to protect them. I'm watching the youth of today react to that song and other music, but that song in particular, and it brings up such deep emotions for everybody that watches it. I've watched it dozens of times, cry most every time. I'm actually going to go see him live here in a couple of weeks in San Francisco with my son. So this will be a 2-part video, addressing the issue that all of us are going to have to face in our future as a mortal being on this earth, passing through the threshold of death, going down the tunnel of light. What's after life? What happens? Why are we here? Meaning of life stuff. Most recently I had my story published, my spiritual story, my path to higher consciousness, my coming into an awareness that over the 69 years of my existence on this planet, I too, like many other people, have had an ongoing interaction with an NHI, a non-human intelligence that has been here for centuries, perhaps facilitating our ongoing existence for reasons that we have yet to figure out. The meaning of life. Why is Earth here? Why are you on it at this time? I don't know who this is going to reach. I'm going to be posting this on my YouTube channel. I'm on my Facebook page. I'm hoping that my son will allow us to film our conversation as we discuss these deep fundamental issues about life and death. I've already had some conversations with him in my weakest moments when I was in much pain and did not feel like going on any further. That's the last thing you want to have a talk with your son or your daughter about dying, about leaving. My mother and father both lived in 91. I'm blessed with really good genetics. For the last 68 years, I've been really, really healthy. It's only been in the last 5 or 6 months that the two persistent issues with my health have manifested, and they still are. I'm still dealing with them, and that is my reason for wanting to get this legal form in the hands of my son, so that I have some representative for me that will speak for me, that will be able to make the decisions about my wishes at the end of life. Were I not able to make them due to incapacitation? Hard topic, I know, but I've also faced life head on. I've thrown myself into danger so many times. I should be dead several times. Part of my story that was published, I was hit by a car at the age of 5. It was my first near death. I've had multiple near death and out-of-body experiences. I was in the Air Force. I know we're not alone in the universe. It's one of the biggest state secrets that the government continues to hide from us. As I speak to you right now, realize that there are veterans hiding and guarding and working on these fabulous and incredible state secrets that would fundamentally change the nature of society and our reality as we've been led to believe that it is. So I'm putting this out hopefully as a 2-part series. To get people talking, we don't even want to think about death or a will. Realize when you pass on, all the stuff that is yours won't matter. It'll become somebody else's, or it'll get thrown away. I lost all my stuff 2017 in a house fire. Everything that I owned was burned up in a house fire. It was my fourth close encounter with death, as I ran into my burning home and became trapped by smoke, trying to rescue a bug out box that I had near my door in my bedroom. So this conversation is not easy to have, but I feel it's important to present. Like I say, we're all going to have to deal with this at some point. The stuff that you care about that is so important to you right now won't matter once you pass on. This speaks to bigger issues, as I said previously. I'm not sure if my son will want to have this conversation on film. I will have to have the conversation, whether he feels it is as important as I think it is. I don't know. Realize that for those of you that are listening to this, if you have children, they only know you as dad or mom. They don't know the path you've walked. They don't know your successes, your failures, your hopes, your dreams, the seminal and pivotal events, the epiphanies, the things that made you who you are. Realize many people are not even working on their conscious path. They don't want to think about it, or they just don't think about it. For myself, that's pretty much a lot of what I think about. Meaning of life stuff. That's one of the reasons I'm producing this video. It's one of the reasons I just recently had my story published. Thank you for your time watching this. I wish you all the best as you too walk your path of to higher consciousness and a better understanding of the true nature of reality and the environment that we all live in. And peace to you.